You've tuned in to Cardinal Sin and, where I, Cardinal Sin, discuss important pop culture news, reviews, movies, genre fiction, comics, storytelling, and just about anything else with my fellow YouTubers. Get ready for informed conversation about what's going on, for as your humble host, I rely on my guests to provide the talking points, whether it's a panel or just me one-on-one with a friend. So get ready for Cardinal Sin and...
Greetings, followers. It is I, Cardinal Sin. You despise me, don't you? And today I have on Cardinal Sin and Friends number 32, the panel. Won't you welcome the panel? We have Mithyr and the Time Prophet, Ivan Ivanovich, Mark D with a C, Wookie Fever, Rod Thunderheart, and Antiderivative Jill. How are y'all doing?
Oh.
Hello.
Very good. Fantastic.
Very good.
I want to suck your blood.
Awesome.
Ah, the children of the night. What a music they make.
What music they make. I am Dracula.
Wait, time sucks blood?
I do today.
Not me.
What's your favorite brand? What's your favorite brand of blood sausage?
I not only suck at blood, I suck at quizzes too.
Oh yeah, I'm not very good at
And
interviews.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome
But it's fun and I
Eliahu.
learn.
How are you doing, Eliahu?
Oh, I apologize for being late. It's a little
Can you
jet
eat that mic? Speak up.
Can you hear me now?
A little better.
Okay, awesome sauce.
You're still a little soft, but it's better than being too loud, I guess.
Okay, I'll swallow the mic. I am in San Francisco anyway, so hey, bum bum.
Yeah, just get at that mic and yell. So we are going to go ahead and play our trivia Smackdown. Here are the rules. I will ask the person whose turn it is a question. Everyone else must remain quiet. No kibitzing from the chat. That person can correctly answer the question for 1 point, or once every 2 turns, and we will play at least 4, that person may lay the smack down on another player, in which case that player can correctly answer for 2 points, or incorrectly answer or pass, and that player that laid the smackdown will get 1 point. The player with the most correct answers at the end of 4 rounds is the winner, with bragging rights until next week. And I don't want to hear any keyboard sounds. You have 30 seconds to answer. Everybody clear?
Yes.
All right.
Sounds good.
I am.
I think I understand, so I'm going to answer yes, I do.
All right. So,
I'll just pretend.
Mithy, we're going to start with you. This is your question. How many Fallout games have there been?
Well, we're gonna guess, so we guess wrong. 5.
Nine. Fallout, Fallout 2, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout Tactics, Fallout 76, Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, and Fallout Shelter. The Time Prophet, this question is for you. How many female Time Lords have there been?
Sorry.
For the Time Prophet, how many female Time Lords have there been?
Sorry, I was muted. I would say 3.
Zero. Female Time Lords are called Time Ladies.
Oh. That's a mute point. But there you go.
Ivan Ivanovich, this question is for you.
Hang on though. The new Doctor is a female, so she would be a Time Lord.
No. Female Time
That's not the
Lords are
Doctor.
Time Ladies.
That's a reincarnation of Bubble from Absolutely Fabulous.
you are right, yes.
And welcome live to Love Chat.
Hello,
All
can
right.
you hear me?
Yes. Wookie Fever, this question is for you.
All right.
What actress played Romana?
You know what? I don't know.
I don't know is incorrect. And I'm getting a echo from somebody. Does somebody have a YouTube window open?
It's live to low shot.
Other than me?
Sounds like a robot.
Robocop.
I actually knew the other question.
Why? Mute yourself.
All right. Let's see here. All right, Jill, this question is for you.
Okay.
Who played the lead in Death Race 2000? Also, remember, everyone has a smack.
Okay. I'm going to smack down Mark D with the C.
Mark D with a C to steal. Who played the lead in Death Race 2000?
I think I can get this wrong, but was it Stallone?
Oh, you were close.
Carradine. He was in it.
It was
David Carradine.
Carradine, yeah, that's so.
Yep.
That's what I thought I was going to get it wrong. Yep. That's
All right.
Close.
Wookie Fever, we already did you, right?
Yes.
So somebody left and it screwed up the.
It was live to low shack. He has bad feedback as usual.
Yeah.
The back
I
connection.
believe I was.
I'm just trying to get the order right here. So that was Jill. So I'm going to put Jill.
I believe
here.
I was supposed to. I was lined up after Jill.
Yeah. Rod, this will be your question. Who turned down the role of Frankenstein, catapulting Boris Karloff to international stardom?
Bela Lugosi.
Correct.
You got one.
And Rod is on the board. All right. Eliyahu, this will be for you. And it is... What was the very first Hammer film Christopher Lee appeared in?
Was that Dracula?
Correct. Also known in the United States as The The horror of Dracula.
Yeah.
Okay. Live at the Love Shack, this question is for you.
Okay.
I got a keyboard.
Not mine.
I am getting ready here. What did resurrection men do?
Can I use my Smackdown?
Okay.
Okay, Smackdown, the Time Prophet.
The Time Prophet to steal. What did resurrection men do?
He resurrected.
Can you be more specific?
He resurrected Jesus.
For people's erections?
They dug up freshly buried bodies and sold them to universities to use in the teaching of anatomy, which was against the law at the time.
Oh my god, I knew that.
Dude,
So-
you're British. You should know that.
Yeah.
We are back to Mithy. Mithy,
Hold
this
on, I
question
haven't
is
been asked
for
a
you.
question yet.
How many Planet of the Apes movies have there been? You have a smack and you have 30 seconds to answer. I don't want to hear any keyboard sounds.
Nine.
Correct.
Nice job. Some would like to forget, though, but
Well, I wasn't entirely certain because Gil holds the absolute yes or no on these answers, and I didn't know if he included the new ones or tossed out any for various reasons.
Yes, and we should mention that what I have written down is the correct answer. So that's all there is to it.
Cardinal Sin, Ivan said he has yet to be asked a question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand what you said.
Ivan said he has yet to be asked a question.
That's because he dropped out of the chat.
No, I never dropped out of the chat. You just keep changing the order around.
Oh, Ivan. I'm sorry. I thought you
I've
said
been here the whole time.
somebody else.
Mary Tam and Lala Ward.
Damn, he's
No,
good.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So you go here, and Mark goes here, and Wookie goes here, Rod goes here, and Jill goes there, and we have you. Okay. So, Mithy, this is going to be... Oh, Ivan, you said you didn't get one.
Yes, Ivan needs a first question, and then we can continue.
All right. So, Ivan, this question is for you. Yvonne, I'm sorry. Somebody else said Ivan, and that made me say
This is
Ivan.
how languages change.
I apologize. I was maybe.
No, that's fine.
Yvonne, name 3 actors that have played Frankenstein's monster other than Boris Karloff.
Peter Boyle. Damn, what's his name? Obnoxious Italian actor.
I know who you're thinking of.
Robert De Niro. And,
That's correct.
oh God, a third one. Oh, I don't remember the name of the Japanese actor who did it.
That's all right. There's plenty more.
Lon Chaney Jr.
That's correct.
I
Bonus
probably would have
question
suggested.
for Yvonne. Name another 3.
Oh, I couldn't even begin to name another 3. But there's at least 3 Japanese actors who've played him.
There's also the guy who played Harvey Dent.
There's Glenn Strange.
Yep.
Christopher Lee, Aaron Eckhart.
Oh, I forgot about him.
And as you said, all these Japanese actors. Okay, now, Mithy, it's to you.
I did answer 2 questions. I got one wrong and one right.
Yeah, I believe Time Prophet's next.
Yeah, you did. I have that noted. Time Prophet, sorry.
Right,
Okay, gotcha. All right. The out of order thing is freaking me out a little bit. All right. The Time Prophet, this is your question. What was the first official horror movie? And you have a smack.
I'm going to go with a 1930s horror film called White Zombie.
The correct answer is House of the Devil from 1898.
Wow.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's an
okay,
early one.
never mind. I thought it was Nosferatu.
That's what I would have guessed, yeah.
Well, at least I had an answer.
Wookie, you put the smack down, and that was on Yvonne?
No. No, not I.
You laid no smacks. Okay. Sounds like a breakfast cereal.
I think Jill laid the
Jill-
smack down. I
Jill
can't remember who.
Jill smacked me.
Jill, did you lay the smack down?
I did on Mark on the very first round.
And did he get it right or wrong?
I was wrong.
Okay. And Live has also used a smack, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he smacked Time.
And Time Prophet didn't get it.
I get it. He was totally smacked.
Okay, I just got to keep track of smacks.
Yeah, I completely smacked his British ass.
It happens all the time.
Okay, so this question is to Yvonne. Yvonne, has it ever actually rained blood? You have a smack and 30 seconds.
Well, I mean, if you take the primary sources literally, then yes.
In Asia, hemoglobin was found in the...
Those are from algae blooms. People used to think it rained blood, but it was algae blooms.
It was from the riverbed, wasn't it?
In India, there was hemoglobin found in the...
Mark D with a
red
C.
water.
Yeah.
This one is for you. Who was the second actor to play the role of the Doctor?
Oh, God.
You have 30 seconds and a smack.
I'm drawing a blank on the name, and I'm picturing his face, which is ridiculous. All right, I'll smack Rod then.
Rod to Steele. Who was the second actor to play the role of the Doctor?
Oh, like him. I see the face.
I've seen the face. I can't.
I can only think of Peter Capaldi, but I know he was like post 2000 or something.
I actually know this one. It's Patrick Troughton.
Yeah, I do too. I knew that one as well.
Oh, God. Correct answer is Peter Cushing.
Cushing played in those movies. He was the second.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's Peter Cushing in the movie.
He was the second
And I
actor
would
to
not
play
have
the
gotten
role
that
of the
right
Doctor.
until you said it. I would not have gotten that right until you said it.
The movies are not canon, though.
Take away all my Doctor Who tapes.
He was the second actor to play the role of the Doctor. Yvonne, this is your question. How many episodes were there in the original run of Star Trek?
I'm going to lay the smackdown on Elihu.
Elihu, to steal. How many episodes were there in the original run of Star Trek?
There were 79 original.
Yvonne smacked down the wrong guy.
No hesitation there.
No hesitation whatsoever.
All right. So, Mark D with a C, this question is for you. How many Leprechaun movies were there?
Oh, God.
And you have a smack in 30
I think
seconds.
I think they made more. I'm going to guess 3. 5.
8.
8.
Wow.
They made 8 of those?
They made 8 too many.
That many?
Wow.
Oh,
We did get to see the girl from Friends topless in the first one, but
After that, things kind of dropped off, but I'm bummed.
yeah.
I've actually got all of them. I've actually got every Leprechaun movie.
You do?
Don't
The
bother with the
first
last
3 are
one.
pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, Wookiee Fever.
Yes.
What 2 Harlan Ellison Outer Limits episodes did James Cameron rip off for the Terminator? I'm sorry. Which 2 Harlan Ellison Outer Limits episodes did James Cameron rip off for the Terminator?
I'm going to pass that along on a smackdown to Antiderivative Jill.
Antiderivative Jill. What 2 Harlan episodes of The Outer Limits did James Cameron rip off for the Terminator?
Okay, I know one of them is Demon with the Glass Hand,
That's correct.
but I can't think of the other one that he ripped off.
Soldier is the name of the other one.
Did Robert Culp star in both of those? Or just
A
Demon?
for effort. All right. Eliyahu, this one is for you. Name 3 films in which Christopher Lee played Dracula.
Let's see. Shit. Horror Dracula. Dracula, Prince of Darkness, and Scars of Dracula.
And yes, correct.
Nice job.
Bonus question for you. Name 3 more.
Oh shit. There's Dracula AD 1972.
Which one did you say?
Dracula AD 1972. Dracula and the Son, and In Search of Dracula.
Dracula's Son and Inspector Dracula?
In Search of Dracula. Or the
Well,
Son of
those aren't on the
Dracula.
list. They're very likely out there, but
Yeah, unless I got a title.
Or
too,
a graphic.
there's
Unless I got-
also a lot of different names. These movies have been renamed and re-released. And anyway, you got a point for the main question.
Okay. I mean, Christopher Lee is a great actor.
Live at the Love Shack. This is your question. What is the name of the drive-in movie critic whose slogan is, "The drive-in shall never die"?
I already used my Smackdown.
You've
so
already
my
used your
answer would
smack.
be,
You've already used your smack.
I think he jumped order because
Yeah, because he came
I
out.
know I will answer that wrong, so my answer will be Bird of Prey 5.
The correct answer is Joe Bob Briggs.
My second option was Cardinal Sin.
So, Mithy, this question is for you. Name 3 shows that Joe Bob has hosted.
Let's see who deserves some points. I might get this. Go ahead and take some points from me, Wookie PD. Wookie. I can't see your name.
Wookie?
Wookie Fever.
What about
Wookie
Wookie
Fever.
Fever?
Yes.
What about him?
All the points are no, or a couple points are no points. I don't know. So
Are you trying to lay the smackdown on Wookie Fever?
yes.
Oh, okay. So Wookie Fever, to steal, name 3 shows that Joe Bob Briggs has hosted.
I do not know.
I've seen it before.
Monster Vision, The Last Drive-In, Joe Bob's Saturday Night, and Drive-In Theater. So the Time Prophet, this one is for you.
Okay.
How many Jedi were trained by Master Yoda? Ballpark.
What's ballpark mean?
You know, give or take.
Oh, you mean he might have trained a few off screen?
It doesn't have to be exact. Just
I would
around
say-
how many?
I'd say 3.
20,000.
Damn.
Wow.
I was slightly out.
You only have to
Just
buy
a couple off, man.
A few zeros.
few tens of thousands. Ivan Ivanovich, this question is for you. What was the name of the Star Trek Halloween episode?
Cat's paw.
Another Trekkie
Bonus
in the
question
house.
for you, Yvonne.
Nice.
Was it any good?
Subjective. Yeah.
I mean, as Star Trek episodes go, it's actually one of the worst.
Is it any good?
No.
Fuck yeah, it is.
It's got its moments. I totally agree, but
That little alien it in. That
so
scared
you
me,
get the,
scared me to death as a kid when I saw that. It was so creepy when
You
they
get
shriveled up,
the
man.
first point, but not the bonus question. Let me press my
Those little
whistle.
chicken, chicken, whatever you call it, the puppets. Yeah.
Chicken furry puppet thing.
Turning things into rabbit chickens since the 60s. All right.
I got to compliment
so-
Marvel on their rabbit chicken representation.
Mark,
Sonny
you with
and Cher.
the seat. This is your question.
Alrighty.
Peter Cushing played Baron von Frankenstein 5 times. How many times did he play Van Helsing?
Oh God. I'm gonna guess 3.
5.
5.
And to Wookiee Fever.
Mhm.
This question is for you. In the Underworld films, how many times has Kate Beckinsale played a death dealer? And you have a smack. In the Underworld films, how many times has Kate Beckinsale played a death dealer?
Once.
And you have a smack. I'm sorry, what did you say?
1.
Darn. 4.
Oh.
Rod Thunderheart. This question is for you. In Star Trek Deep Space Nine, what is Gul Dukat's first name? And you have a smack.
I will smack live at the Love Shack.
Live at the Love Shack to steal in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, what is Gul Dukat's first name? Going once. Going twice.
Is he muted or?
Live at the Love Shack? Can you answer?
He's not muted.
No.
It was muted before, then it turned off.
Yeah. Live at the Love Shack, can you hear me?
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes. In Star Trek Deep Space
Okay,
Nine,
his first name is
first name?
His first name is Ducat. They never told us his last name. Go is just his title.
Gul is his title. Ducat is his last name. His first name is Scrane.
Come on, you made that up.
No, I didn't.
No.
I looked it up.
Books. It's in the books, dude. Read the books.
Okay, back to Mithy. In how many films does the creature from the Black Lagoon appear?
Shouldn't Joe have gone
And
next?
everybody has a smack now. Back to our
I haven't
second
used one
round.
yet.
Or a third round, rather. In how many films does the creature from the Black Lagoon appear?
Let's say 8.
3. The Time Prophet. This question is for you.
Okay.
Name the actor who portrayed Grandpa Munster in The Munsters. And you have a smack.
Oh, right. Okay, I'm going to smack some dude. I'm going to smack Live at the Love Shack.
Live at the Love Shack to steal. Name the actor who portrayed Grandpa Munster in The Munsters. Time's up.
Oh, he was on Gremlins.
Al Lewis.
Al Lewis.
Correct. It is Al Lewis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Grandpa.
And wasn't he running for governor at one point or something too?
Yeah.
I forgot.
All right. Yvonne, this is your question. Name the actress that plays Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and you have a smack.
Right, so I'll smack that to the Time Prophet.
The Time Prophet. To steal, name the actress that plays Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
I don't know.
Oh.
Cassandra Peterson.
Oh.
I'm not old enough to remember.
Well, she's still around, dude.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah, but I don't
Yvonne.
think I ever knew that. I always knew her as Elvira.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean she was a fake?
Yeah.
She was a fake?
There's nothing about her that's fake.
Yeah,
There was
it's all real, all
redhead.
real.
there was a letter in National Lampoon's letters were always fake, satirical. There was a letter once. Does Joni really love Chachi, or are they just actors pretending?
Actually, I think they dated.
Yeah. They did,
According to Aaron, they were stooping off screen all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure they were. Yvonne, bonus question. Where is Cassandra Peterson from?
I also don't know that.
Sorry.
Manhattan, Kansas.
Ah.
Bonus question for Yvonne. Who is the most famous person she ever dated?
Oh, I believe that was Eddie Van Halen.
Elvis Presley.
Wow.
Wait, they dated?
Eddie Van Halen's more famous than Elvis, surely. Elvis can't play the guitar, he faked it.
50,000 Elvis fans can't be wrong.
Don't be cruel. Don't be cruel.
Elvis
very
faked
often-
playing the guitar.
Very often, when I'm at a retail establishment and I've paid, I go and I get my change back. I go, thank you, or I go, thank you very much, or as the king would say, thank you very much.
Thank you
Oh,
very
we
much.
have to send her
thank
address
you.
unknown.
Thank you very much. All right, Mark D with a C. This is a question for you. Name all the films Elvira has appeared in.
Oh god, no idea. So I'm gonna
And
smack.
you have a smack.
I have a smack, right? I'll smack Draco.
Mithy.
Buzz me.
Name all the films Elvira has appeared in.
I answered. I don't get any points. Buzz me.
Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and Elvira's Haunted Hills.
Oh, me too. All right.
Mark D with a C. What show was Elvira horror host of?
Oh god. I'll just guess. I should know this because I've watched it. Elvira, Mistress of the Night.
Incorrect. It's Elvira's Movie Macabre.
All right.
Wookiee Fever.
Yes.
This question is for you. What will happen if you view H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu? And you have a smack.
I'm going to
Be
smack-
careful what you wish for.
Yes.
Sorry, I had to say that.
I'm gonna smack down live at the left shack.
Live at the Love Shack to steal. What will happen if you view H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu?
You go insane.
Correct.
You have to watch Star Trek Discovery over and over.
Yeah.
That'll drive you insane too.
And listen to the theme song of Enterprise over and over again.
That's
The way I don't hate episodes of Voyager is I watch the title theme and then I turn it off.
yeah. Actually, there are a few episodes of Voyager that are pretty darn good.
I'm sure there were, but I've never seen any.
I can write you a short list. It'll be very short.
I've seen all of them.
That'd be fine. If you send me the list, I might even check them out.
Okay. Remind me, DM me, email me, whatever. Okay, so this is for Raw Thunderheart. How many Reanimator movies are there? And you have a smack.
I'm gonna smack Mark D with a C.
Mark D with a C to steal.
Oh, your skin. That hurt.
How many Reanimator movies are there?
I got to get one right eventually. Let's see. How about 5?
How about 5?
How many were
3.
there?
Bonus question for Rod Thunderheart. Name the 3 Reanimator movies.
I'm gonna smack anti-derivative Jill.
You can't smack. It's a bonus question.
Yeah.
You can either win or not win. You can either do it or fail.
Name them, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Reanimator 1, Reanimator 2, Reanimator 3. I don't know.
Reanimator, Bride of Reanimator, and Beyond Reanimator.
Wow, so close.
Damn.
And that is the end of our trivia quiz. While we tally up the points, let's see who is here. Hail Captain Deckard Spock. Oh, this is where my listeners went. Yes, blame it on me.
We're all here.
Hail, he says. Don McDouglas, hello. Zax. Hello, Zax. Dalek 451. It is first time on one of my streams. I'm glad you could make it. And
I think
he
yesterday
points out that not all Gallifreyans are Time Lords.
I think yesterday was
Janet from another planet is here. Greetings, Janet. And oh, Time Prophet got it. Screen. Yvonne says she's got nice cans.
Wait, didn't he always tell everybody, my name is Elmo? Those is like a passing joke.
Yes, he said that all the time. Tickle me, Gold Ducat. PCAT is here. Greetings. So let's tally it up.
Won't take long to count mine.
Ellie Who is the winner.
Woohoo!
Congratulations.
Nice job.
There we go.
Yes, congratulations.
All right,
Thank you very
congratulations.
much.
So throughout the month, we will have more Halloween-oriented questions. The closer to Halloween that we get, the more Halloween-y questions we'll have. And now is the part of Sprocket when we dance.
Dance! I can turn my camera? Okay, fine. Oh, shit. Hang on. My camera.
Got their camera on.
Damn it.
No, now is the portion of the
Messy kitchen.
The show where we just sort of have a casual conversation and talk about what's been going on.
So you're saying I need to watch a whole bunch of horror movies? Which ones do you think?
I can send you a list.
Only if you like horror movies.
I've been watching horror movies for years, but can't remember a single person in any of them.
You guys,
There's this really good horror movie. It's called Terminator Genesis.
When I was a kid, Metro Media had a show called Creature Features, and I used to watch that. But I mean, by the time I was 10 or 11, I quit watching those films because they were all.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you get these. Again, I talk about these Japanese films, the Japanese Frankenstein films that are just so far out there. They're like somebody was doing drugs when they wrote this.
Yeah. I can.
I mean, when I was, this is the thing. When I was 8 or 9 already, right? There was this kids show in our market, and it featured these 2 hippie women, and I'm like, they've got to be on drugs. That was my reaction at the time. I still believe they had to have been on drugs, but
Yes, you're probably right about that.
Hey, Cardinal.
Everyone knows that the Japanese love their drugs. Yes.
Thank you for having me on, but I'm going to take off because I'm going to hop on Christmas night's weekly review in about 10 minutes.
Very well. Thanks for making it. Do you want to plug your channel or anything while you're here?
Sure. Why not? In case you don't know who I am Eli Who? Me? Yes, me. I do not talk about comic books. I do not talk about nerd movies, Marvel. I do not talk about anything on my channel. What I have is a science show. I talk astronomy, astrophysics. You know, science? That thing like magic but real.
Oh, cool.
And since the Comet C-2014 UN-271 has been making the news, I'm going to be highlighting that. If you guys do not know what that is, that's the dwarf planet that was discovered until they saw it move and discovered it was the actual comet. It's 160 kilometers wide, which is huge. So I'm going to be talking about that. It's heading to our inner solar system.
Yep,
well, I'm a big
cool.
fan of science. The power of math, people.
Hey, just out of curiosity,
I gave up on math when the alphabet got involved. Okay, leave me out of this, man.
Rod?
Hey, I was just going to say, Elihu, how do you pronounce it? Have you heard of, as a physicist, have you ever heard of Professor Julius Sumner Miller?
I'm sorry, who?
Professor Julius. Julius Sumner Miller.
Sounds familiar.
He actually appeared on the hilarious House of Frightenstein and
the hilarious House of Frankenstein.
Frightenstein.
Oh wait! He was the original Mr. Wizard.
I think he might have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a total science guy. He's not he's not really much of an act. Yeah, and then people in Australia knew him as a host of Why Is It So? And he was a really good teacher. And not only that, but he was actually he actually worked with Einstein in his last few years.
Oh, nice.
Einstein's last few years. But anyway.
Eliyahu, please subscribe to Eliyahu's channel.
Yeah, hilarious House of Frightenstein's an interesting, very interesting story. Among other things, all of the episodes were filmed in a single session without a break.
Wow.
Yeah.
They must have gotten really hungry.
They did.
Or punchy by the end, sure.
I grew up watching Mr. Wizard, so Don Herbert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I'm taking off. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
All right.
Take care.
See you next Sunday.
Hey,
Have a good day.
Oh, my show was on Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific time, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, you bet.
And I have to take off too.
So soon?
Yes. Actually,
Okay.
turns out that things were a bit busier this Sunday than
Do
you
you
ever
have
want
time
them to
to plug anything? Is there anything to plug?
There is nothing in the line to plug for me directly. I am still trying to. I'm still casting about in the infinite wastes, trying to figure out what it is I could actually give to anybody on YouTube or in any other means or way. But you can always find out if I'm going to do anything. It usually shows up either on my website, Mithyr.com, or Twitter, because my website is now posting to Twitter. Thank goodness I figured out how to do that. But at least as long as Twitter lets me post there. But other than that, I suppose we might be getting together if there is a midnight show, because Gil and I were working on a little
something,
shall we say, and little bits of interest, especially what has to do with some of the stuff that was going on determining the special rare gases on Mars and how certain things had to do with. Is there a scientifically explainable reason, and do those reasons include the possibility of what might have happened in a possible past?
And maybe what was responsible for maybe what was responsible for blowing away the atmosphere. I'm sorry, Jill, what did you say?
Oh, I was just saying I like the topic about how Mars may have once had an atmosphere and what happened to it. It's great.
It also may have had a nuclear war. In fact, it must have had a nuclear war.
Mars has been blasted by electric discharge.
Not only electric,
a lot of the features we see are
nuclear
of electric discharge
there are
machinery.
noble gases on Mars in 2 spots that are radioactive.
Specific isotopes
found after a nuclear weapon has been detonated.
Hey Wookie, how you going?
Hello, Captain.
Captain,
welcome, Captain Cotton Spock.
Hello, Captain Spock. Everybody take care.
Captain Spock.
Hello, everyone.
Where do you get a yielding machine big enough to electrify a planet?
A bigger planet.
Oh, I don't know. Where do you find somewhere there to electrify a planet?
If 2 celestial bodies are to pass near one another, there'll almost certainly be an electrical discharge between them.
It could be a Death Star. Death Star could be possible.
That's no Death Star. It's a small moon. And hail Cam.
Hey, was that Mithyr just going? Fuck, I really needed to talk to Mithyr. Oh dear, that is the worst timing. Never mind.
Well, that's how the cookie crumbles.
It's now Myth, not here.
The cookie is indeed crumbling.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Vaughn, how much more do you know about House of Frightenstein?
Well, I mean, I watched it when it was showed in my market.
Ah, okay.
Wow. When was that?
I want to say 74.
Wow.
71.
You must have been just a wee tyke.
Yeah, I was in grade school.
Yeah.
And it was shown in my market. Because I was in the Northeast at the time, so we tended to get Canadian programs eventually. So, for instance, at one point, we got to see game shows that were made in Montreal. So I've seen William Shatner as a game show guest many times.
Oh, no kidding!
Yeah, that's cool.
That is.
There were 2.
That's really great.
One in particular I recall. There was a show called All About Faces that was a Canadian-produced game show, and Shatner was frequently a guest on that.
Interesting. Was that after Star Trek?
Yes, it was after Star Trek when he was.
When he'd do anything for a buck.
Well, pretty much, because his work dried up for a while. I mean, he was actually a very busy actor before Star Trek, but in the years immediately after Star Trek, he was starving. He was living in a camper, you know.
Yeah, I think I heard he was living on his motorcycle or something.
The story I heard is that he had a camper shell on the back of a truck, and he lived in that for quite some time.
Well, now he's won a couple Emmys, so
Them campers are very expensive, though. Them campers are very large, and you need a lot of money to buy one, wouldn't you?
Well, if you just have a camper shell on the back of a pickup truck, that's not a lot of space.
If you have a mattress back there,
it might not even be enough to stand up in, depending upon the design.
Up, Oh yeah,
it could have been bigger on the inside.
Just out of curiosity, excuse me, gentlemen. Just out of curiosity, that was before or after they finally figure out? Wait a minute. That guy's not American. That guy's a Canadian. Hey, bring it in.
Well, yeah, I mean, at the time he's on Canadian programs, so what is that? I mean, he grew up in Montreal. I mean, he was home, and they were producing game shows in his local market, and they asked him to be a guest on it.
It says here that he was on the Match Game and on Hollywood Squares.
I didn't know that.
I'm sure he was at various times, but what I recall are the Canadian game shows because, well, we got him in our market. Yeah.
Hail Andy Masterson, and hail Captain Trek.
Yeah. Yvonne, you recognized, obviously, that was Vincent Price?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's famously that Vincent Price did that narration, yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't he in the Twilight Zone before that?
Shatner, yeah, he was on the Twilight Zone in at least 2 episodes I can think of, and I think more than that.
I think he's been in 3 total.
It's the one with the gremlin on the plane wing, isn't it?
Gremlin on the plane, and then there's one with a fortune-telling machine in a restaurant.
Yeah, that's a great episode,
that one is called Nick of Time.
Yeah, every time predicts the future.
One when he did some kind of weird thing about collecting eyes or something like that? Or was that an Outer Limits?
I don't know about that, but
he was on some weird one. It was like I remember as a kid, and it wasn't the Twilight Zone. The 2 that were just mentioned was a third one.
I think there was an Outer Limits episode in which he played an SS officer.
Yeah, that could have been what I'm thinking about, but that was kind of a creepy one.
Oh yeah.
Well, he was.
Awesome.
Well, he also played an SS officer.
Yeah.
He also played an SS officer in Star Trek.
Yeah.
For a Jewish guy, it's got to be pretty creepy playing.
Well, Nimoy too, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I remember Nimoy in Outer Limits as well.
Right. But Shatner was also the star of a movie filmed entirely in Esperanto.
Yes, Incubus.
Yeah. And just to tell you, I don't know, maybe this was put on, I don't know. There was a feature one time done where they talked about the film, and they had a panel of 3 Esperanto speakers talk about what they thought of the film. And they all gave it a thumbs down. And I've actually read articles.
Did they say the Esperanto was horrible?
Well, I've read articles where Esperanto speakers complain that when Shatner speaks Esperanto, it sounds like he's speaking French. And I'm like,
because
given the number
speaks it.
There's 2 things. One, given the number of Esperanto films, that is incredibly ungrateful, and ingratitude annoys me. But the other issue is, of course,
it's the only film that's filmed in Esperanto.
Shatner grew up bilingual in English and that version of French they speak in Montreal. And so, of course, his Esperanto sounds like French.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That version of French?
Yeah.
Yep.
That version of French.
That's what he said, yep.
Because, look, Canadian French is mostly derived from West Country French, not Parisian French. And it is, by virtue of geography, it incorporates a lot of borrowings from English. There are verbs in Quebecois that do not exist in French.
Quebecois.
Yeah, my dad was a native French speaker, and he couldn't understand people from.
Depending upon how heavy their accent is, it's ridiculous.
French Creole.
Yeah. Okay, find me a French Canadian Spider-Man.
He's
the only one who can. He's the only one. He's the only one who can. Only a French Canadian Spider-Man can explain that.
In French,
do whatever a French spider can.
Yeah. In Quebec,
from P. Cat, who says Shatner was also on Ray Bradbury Theater. Yeah. Hail to Herc 130, who says, I'm late again.
Oh, Shatner was also in the $6 Million Man as well.
In Canadian French, there is a verb balouser.
Balouser.
Which is
when somebody steals the basketball from you?
Which comes from the English word bollocks.
Yeah, I know the word very well.
Wow.
But we very often get kicked in them.
Bollocks.
Yeah, but bollocks with an X and then turned into a French verb, balouser.
Actually, bollocks with an X is just a slang word.
It actually
Right, it's the slang
It's
spelling of the word bollocks, which is a real
It's
word.
actually
Yeah.
CK. Yeah.
it sounds much nicer when you say bollocks
Yeah.
than
Classic.
bollocks. Wouldn't you
Balouser,
agree, Captain?
Bollocks.
Is that all you have to say?
Don't even get me started. I've got so much to say.
So-
I've got a binder of things to say right here. Where do you want me to start? That James Bond, 15 actors playing one person. I'm already lost. It's meant to be one guy. Ridiculous. I'm out. I'm done. Forget the whole thing. Next.
So
The
by
other thing
definition,
about,
by definition, the Quebecois stands for the French, as the Yankees stands for the rednecks.
No.
Yeah, I would think that French would probably look at Montreal French like that. There's a line actually in if anybody's seen Monuments Men, Matt Damon is like when George Clooney assembles a team of experts to go over to Europe during World War II, during the final years of World War II, in order to basically save all these pieces of art, because they didn't want armies to come in and bulldoze the churches and arts and everything. And anyway, there's Matt Damon winds up going to France for some reason or other, and he meets up with the guy he's supposed to, and then the guy looks at him and says, "James, where did you learn your French?" And then Matt Damon looks about him, "Oh, here and there," and then he kind of looks at him, "Where?" And then Damon looks at him, "Montreal." And then the Frenchman just looks at him. Oh,
That's
Love Shack. You can rightly say Parisians look down on blank, and you can put almost anything in blank, and it will be correct.
Yeah.
Apart from the British. The French love the British.
That's why they call British people le roast beef. Sure.
Okay. I can't miss it that. So the French love the British so much that in the next 300 years, they will allow the complete colonization of the French space for the British. And that's why we get Picard in the 21st century.
Algerians. That's who's colonizing.
No.
There is a big part of
the British should kick out the Algerians.
Britannia.
Well, yeah, but I mean, on the other side of the coin, the French and the British had a big dust-up right here in Canada, which not directly, but they were fighting over Canada because who was colonizing more?
Well, that's what the motto on the Quebecois license plate refers to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they've been the British and the French have been going at it for years.
Oh yeah,
So
and Bretagne is not a traditionally French part of what is now France.
Pay for having a pop at the bloody French.
Well, then the French helped us out, and so we won the Revolutionary War.
That's true.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sorry, it was not a revolution.
And then the French
it was a
people
civil
murdered the
war.
people who helped us in the war.
Which language are we speaking? You're welcome. It's like we say, if it wasn't for us, you'd all be speaking French now.
Actually,
That's the thanks.
here's a little piece of trivia.
Thanks, everyone. Merci, mon ami. Know what I mean?
At the Constitutional Convention,
No revolution. It was a civil war.
they talked about whether or not they should have a national language for the United States.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
English, motherfucker. Do you?
They
They already have
decided
a national language.
English.
by
Hey,
one
what
vote,
language
they
y'all
decided it
speak
should
in
be
England?
English, and the person
That's
that
what we
cast
speak
that
here.
vote was a German speaker.
Yeah, and wasn't the choice between English and German that they were making? Yeah, they wanted they were trying to pick a official language, and it was either going to be English or German, and the vote went to English by.
Oh, thank goodness.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
back
God,
then
one
there
vote by a German speaker.
I remember Ben Franklin wrote an article about worried about German language taking over, I guess, because Germans at that time were the biggest ethnic minority in in the United States. So
Have a lot of Hessians over here.
Yeah, so they kept writing
Yeah,
about how
Hessians.
we've got to speak English. There's too much German.
Read either read Mark Twain's essay on the German language, or there's a channel called Polymathy, Polymmathy, where he actually reads
Kind
it.
of like Ptolemy.
Yeah, Polymathy, meaning
Interesting.
Is that a
the
YouTube
study
channel?
of many things. And he reads Twain's essay on the German language. And
Is that a YouTube channel?
It's a YouTube channel. Polymmathy.
The German language.
Matey?
Apparently, the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. I'm not a fan of any politician, but apparently Boris Johnson, British Prime Minister, left a message with French PM Emmanuel Macron, but he left the message in German. I don't know if this is true, but apparently it is. He left a message in German. Macron immediately phoned back up Boris Johnson. Is it allowed? Why are you leaving a message in German? I do not speak German. And Boris said, yeah, that's thanks to us. You're welcome.
Very good, very good. Very
trivia.
witty, Wild. Very witty indeed, yes.
But then we could leave a message on it. What he should have done is phoned up Joe Biden and left a message in French. Same thing. Hey, Boris, man, that was 4 or 5 days ago you left a message. I don't speak French. Yes, indeed. 1774. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Well, that's
There's
like
not
the
as
old,
much of a laugh on that one, but it's the principles.
that's the other story of the time when they're going back. There's a U.S. soldier going back to see France on the anniversary of D-Day. And they said, "Where's your passport? Where's your passport?" And he's like, "Last time I was here, I didn't need a passport." And he's like, "That's impossible. How could you not need a passport?" I kind of ruined the joke by saying what it was from. He's like, "The last time I came here, I jumped out of a plane with a parachute."
Oh, right. That's good. That's good. So let's see. While we're here, and we still have plenty of time, we need to...
I linked it up in private chat.
Okay.
Thank you. I love to read Mark Twain, so that was...
Polymathy, yeah.
Dankeschön.
He does videos. He did a pretty hilarious video where he went around a room speaking classical Latin to see if people understood what he was saying. And the funny part and of course it's not fair, he speaks fluent Italian too. Right. So he knows what they're saying, but they don't know what he's saying. But the funny part was every one of them asked if he speaks English.
I have read Tom Sawyer.
My mom took Latin when she was in college.
Well, I hope she put it back.
But
What happened?
He's
gone. He pressed the wrong button.
You knocked me right out of my own chat.
I think you pressed
That's
the
how funny
button.
that was.
Guys, I'm telling you, I'm much better with a laughter track. Once that comes in, we're golden.
Cam says, Captain Deckard Spock, that was a good one about Boris.
Thank you, Cam.
Yeah, my problem with that is I don't like when people use the first person plural to refer to events that happened before they were born. Like you say, we liberated you. Well, I wasn't there, so me about it, right?
Oh, snap back. Good point.
I hear that a lot. I hear people overuse the word we. Robert Meyer Burnett, bless him, uses we way too much.
Yes.
I remember when Kansas had won the national championship. There were a bunch of people saying, "We did it! We won!" And I'm like, "No, you didn't do shit. You're just drinking beer."
Yeah, exactly. Our team won. We won.
If you think about it though, think about last year in 2020 when you didn't have any audience at all for all of these sports events. Then everything seemed really odd and weird. So the audience.
They even had cardboard cutouts of fans in the stadiums.
Well, I won't be watching any of those events ever again. So.
And hail Tiger Stripes.
The cardboard cutouts don't encourage the team, do they? They're a bit quiet, the cardboard cutouts. Hey, Jill, not quite encouraging the team at all.
Oh, I'm sure they piped in artificial
in spirit.
cheering as well.
I won't.
I want to see more passion from those cardboard cutouts. Come on, guys, root for the home team.
I won't watch a sporting event where they regularly dishonor the flag. Just no, thank you. I'm done. I don't care if I like
How
the
do they
sport or
dishonor
not.
the flag?
By
What,
kneeling,
the cardboard cutouts are doing it now.
Oh, I see.
or
Yeah.
facing away, or both.
I don't pay attention to American football. Sorry.
Football, baseball, you name it. The only
I don't pay attention.
The only
It-
sport
it
that's
really-
left, as far as I can tell, is hockey. Which fortunately I like hockey. So.
And they were doing some of that stuff.
Why is
too.
it called football anyway? They don't kick
I
the
don't
ball.
know.
Because
you use
it's
your hands.
derived. Because it was derived from rugby football. Maybe.
But rugby is not football. It's just
Well,
rugby.
yeah, because rugby turned into
Yeah.
soccer and football.
But rugby was originally called rugby football.
I didn't know that.
I used to play rugby.
Oh, cool. Yeah, my brother has a great bumper sticker. Give blood, play rugby.
Soccer is 90 minutes of pretending you're hurt. Rugby is 80 minutes of pretending you're not hurt.
That's a really good point.
Rugby is like American football, but they don't put 5 inches of padding on themselves.
I just prefer to stick around for the party
Like-
after the rugby game. I played a little bit in college, and this
I
is
did too.
crazy.
I can't drink like a rugger. That's why I had to quit.
My
Oh,
brother
yeah,
is
I
a
know.
professional actor, and one of the movies that he did not too long ago was like a homecoming for a rugby player, and everybody but him was a professional or almost professional rugby player, and he'd played plenty of football, and he knew the rules for rugby. So he had all the lines, most of the lines, and he kind of looked like he knew what he was doing, but the director, put him sort of in the middle of the action, so you couldn't really tell, that his rugby wasn't as good as everybody else's. It was a really good movie. I wish I could remember what it was called.
I played rugby in Wales, and it was raining every single day, so you got covered in mud, and you could hardly find the ball. It just slipped everywhere.
That's kind of like rugby all over, isn't it?
You don't have so much rain in America, do you? It's from all the
It
films I
depends on
watched,
where you are. Where I played rugby, you have rain every evening, all summer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
not
guys
rugby
on
unless
hockey
there's-
is
Not rugby
not
unless there's a lot
rugby.
of rain and mud.
yeah.
Well, people
Must
do.
be somewhere in the rule book.
People do play rugby here in Arizona, but I could retire
But not
from
the
it
All
long
Blacks.
ago. Yeah. I have an All Blacks jumper.
The All Blacks are my favorite.
Yvonne, you're in Arizona?
Yes, that's correct. The second home of half of Canada.
I'm down in Yuma.
Oh, very good. I'm up in the Phoenix area.
You can take the 310 there. I understand.
You're where the beautiful people are. I'm over here in nowhere.
It was only until recently I thought Canada was in America.
It is. It's in North America.
Again, that's a place where it's a matter of how you use the language.
And for years I thought Canada was on the top, and I'm not sure if it's on the top or on the bottom.
Yeah. Canada's like a hat
North
on top of the
America,
United
but
States.
also
yeah.
Australia, Alaska is on top of Canada, and Alaska is a part of the United States.
Boom.
So
Well, it
Canada,
seems like
Jill, what you're saying
Canada's
is
invading
Canada is sort of a United
Arizona.
States sandwich.
Yes.
Isn't there a Bond villain called Onatop?
Zenya's on the top.
A Bond girl.
GoldenEye.
Yes. Because she always
that
goes
was,
on top.
Oh yeah, it was Femke Janssen. Oh my
Duck
goodness!
beauty. Oh my
And
goodness.
that line, I'll never forget. He picks up the phone, and I think M is calling or something, and wants to know, "What are you doing, Bond?" And he says, "I'm just brushing up on a little Danish."
Probably a bit pasty.
Yeah, it
Has
was
anyone
great.
seen the new Bond movie yet?
No,
Oh, don't even bother.
but I've heard
no,
both that it's outstanding and that it not so great, but it's not woke.
I've heard
Yeah.
some good spoilers.
I haven't heard any spoilers yet. So
Do you
please
want
don't-
I've heard
spoilers?
it,
I
but,
can give you the most important spoiler of all.
No, let's not have any spoilers since it won't open in the United States for another few weeks.
So,
I
so
would
don't
just
even
assume
waste
we
your
don't,
time. It's not that great.
Well, says you.
When
You're
does
not
it
gonna
release
like
here?
it. I only read the synopsis and it's awful.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's
I haven't
one
liked
opinion.
any. I haven't liked any of the Craig movies, so.
I didn't
I'll just stick
like Daniel
with-
Craig from the start.
I didn't
And now,
either.
no,
But Sean
But I've
Connery
heard
is the
this
best
is the
one.
best one that
like I
he's
said,
done.
don't bother.
I've heard all kinds of opinions about it, but nobody has said that it was woke. Even people that didn't like it didn't say it was woke.
That's what.
Well,
typical what they do.
I can give you one spoiler.
Let's please not.
Somehow they managed to add Idris Elba in the movie. Try to figure out.
Yeah. So, for me,
Is he Norwegian?
the
in the
Bond
movie?
franchise,
Is he playing
went
Judi Dench?
very far south with GoldenEye. GoldenEye is really the last film where the Bond franchise is healthy. After that, it's been on life support.
I love the ones with Robbie Coltrane because I'm a
Yeah.
big Robbie Coltrane fan.
And Mr. Bean as well. Rowan Atkinson.
You
He's
mean
in-
Johnny English?
Yeah, he was in one James Bond film. I can't remember which one. I think
He was?
Yeah, one of the newer ones.
Who?
He was in it for about 5 minutes.
Rowan Atkinson?
Yes, he's in one of the Bond films.
I've never heard of that.
I'd have to
Yeah.
look that up.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, I want to say he was in the one Sean Connery did back in the 80s. The
Never Say Never.
Never Again.
I think you're right. I think he was in that one.
Yeah,
I'll have
he
to
was
look
in that
up.
Never Say Never Again. Yeah, I forgot what role he played, but he was a government official.
Right,
Hagrid?
right. I think you're right.
Robbie Coltrane did play Hagrid, but not in James Bond.
I got to say, I watched On Her Majesty's Secret Service recently.
The best.
And it
Great
really
movie.
is a lot better of a movie than I think it gets credit for.
Yes.
It has its On Her Majesty's Secret Service. It has
Oh,
its
that's
problems.
Yeah.
And the biggest
This
problem
didn't happen
is
to the other guy.
and the biggest problem with
Yeah.
that film, in my mind, is the casting of Telly Savalas as the villain.
I like
think
Telly
it-
Savalas.
I think if you just changed that and put Blofeld, either made that character not Blofeld or put Blofeld back to being a contemplative, quiet individual and not just a common thug, which is
Yes.
what Telly Savalas
There's
plays.
one
I
film
think
where he
that would
had
be a very
hair.
good film. Of course, the other thing I found really amusing about that film, because I had not watched it since the 70s, was I was surprised to see Joanna Lumley in it.
Yes. It's true.
Purdy. From the New Avengers.
Yes, Purdy. That's how I first was introduced to Joanna
And
Lumley.
Diana
was the New
Rigg
Avengers.
from the Avengers.
Yeah, Diana Rigg has a
Avengers
big part
was
in it.
James Bond.
He's great in that, man.
And
Man.
Catherine Schell is in it. Catherine
That
Schell
cat
has a
suit that
speaking
they
role.
had Diana Rigg in.
Oh, Diana
Man.
Rigg is awesome.
Yeah, and there's a great documentary on Hulu, George Lazenby, his story. So,
La-
I think it's called
Lazenby?
I think it's called Becoming Bond. It's
The best
definitely
Bond.
worth watching.
Yes.
Check it out on Hulu. It's just a great,
I
great
think
story how he gets the role and his life.
I remember hearing. Oh no, it was about the guy who was in Flash Gordon, who played Flash Gordon, and that's the only thing he ever did.
Buster Crabbe.
Sam Jones.
Also,
Sam
Yeah.
Jones.
And it was
Also-
like Being Sam Jones or something, and it was like a feature-length documentary of him sitting on a chair talking about being Bond and then not being Bond and not doing anything after
Also,
That's funny. 'Cause he
also
played Flash
George
Gordon.
Baker, who is the second number 6, is in that film.
You are number 6.
I mean, not second number 2. The second number
I'm
2.
number 2.
that. Oh,
After
you're
Count
thinking The
Lippy.
Prisoner now.
Yeah, the
You are
prisoner.
number 1.
Yeah, in the first episode, you have,
work for?
first episode, you have the actor who played Count Lippy in Thunderball. He's the first
Why did
number
you
2.
resign?
And the second one is George Baker, who would later go on to play Tiberius.
I will not make any deals with you.
I'm Tiberius.
I resign.
I know that's Spartacus.
I will not be pushed, filed, stamped, indexed, briefed, debriefed, or numbered. My life is my own.
Is it?
Yes, you won't hold me.
And so, on that note, I should go ahead and plug our show on Wednesday. Captain Cockney Spock and Tracy Torme and I will be on our 4th episode of I Am Not a Number, and we will be watching A, B, and C and touch a little bit on the episode before that, The Chimes of Big Ben, and we can look forward to that. Everybody can follow along for free on Amazon or on your own physical media if you have it. The restoration looks brilliant. It's in 5.1 surround sound. It sounds great. It looks like it was made yesterday. A lot of fun.
Oh, that's on Amazon now, Cardinal?
Mm-hmm. Yep, for free.
It's free.
The HD version or no?
Yes.
Yes,
HD version.
I have the A&E DVDs, which I had to buy in Canada at the time because they weren't available in the US.
Yeah, by the time that Shout Factory, but by the time I found out that Shout Factory had remastered them and been selling the box set, they were out.
Can I say The Prisoner is not very realistic? Because it's filmed in North Wales and it never rains. Well, when I lived in Wales, it rained every day.
Okay, you know what though? I think that was solved in the last episode we watched because there was a theory that the village might have some sort of weather control.
Yes.
Well, there's also the issue that in Many Happy Returns, it's determined that the village is in Iberia.
And not Lithuania.
It's definitely North Wales. It's not very far
Port
from
Marion is in North Wales, yeah.
But one of the reasons they chose Port Marion is because it has Mediterranean architecture.
Oh, yeah. Because it could look like it's in any country.
It could look like it's almost anywhere, yeah.
But not North Wales.
No, anywhere but North Wales.
It doesn't look like anything else in Wales. That is true.
It turns out that it is a spa for the wealthy, and people go there and reserve rooms and spend just crazy amounts of money for this exclusive resort / spa. And there were people staying there when they were shooting The Prisoner, and they just sort of either made them extras or told them to stay inside. And we were watching, or rather discussing one of the episodes last week. Was it The Chimes of Big Ben, Captain?
Yeah.
That was last week's episode, The Chimes of Big Ben, which according to us is episode 2.
Yes. And when the helicopter took off, when number 6 is in the helicopter and he thinks he's driving the helicopter, it created a downdraft and the chimneys hadn't been cleaned, so all these rich people are in their rooms covered with soot, and they come running out of the building and they're just covered in soot.
Yeah. As far as the viewing order goes, I really prefer a viewing order where you put the Chimes of Big Ben in consecutive with I forget now. And then there's the 2 Colin Gordon episodes, A, B, and C, and The General. And I feel like you need to put those contiguous.
I think that's our viewing order.
Yeah.
A, B, and C is next, but we're going. Yeah. But that is the initial.
But Dance of the Dead has to be very close
order,
to the beginning too.
There are arguments about
episode 8.
Order.
See, I would put Dance of the Dead second.
It's 8.
Really?
It's the 8th episode.
Yeah, I would put it second because he's really new. He's really new in the village in Dance of the Dead.
Yes.
He's really learning his way around the place.
Well, he kind of looks like he's schmoozing.
Yeah.
In that episode when he talks to the woman.
Right.
Nadia.
Right.
Yeah, we did talk about that. He's too comfortable. It's wrong for the episode. So we already acknowledged that Chimes of Big Ben does make a 4 episode too, because he's far too comfortable in the village. You're quite right.
Well, one thing that Rick Davey said was that there are 4 episodes that were shot as the second episode.
Right.
So.
Right. No, I agree. There's ambiguity. In my mind, there's no perfect order, but it's always seemed to me that you should have notwithstanding the last 2 episodes, but that you should have the episodes that have the same number 2 in them be consecutive.
I think it's the fact that he was a spy in his previous life, so that the second episode he's just pretending to be calm. He's not really calm.
He already knows he's in enemy territory by the end of Arrival, so.
Yeah. Well, he knows that he's in the village. In the village.
Well, by the entire show.
By the very nature of the line, whose side are you on? Mm-hmm. I'm on our side. Mm-hmm. I think that speaks volumes about, at that point, whether he thinks it's them or us, so to speak.
And there's one great actor who gets to say he's the new number 2 who never appears in the show, and that is the fantastic British voice actor Robert Rayetti, who is
is he on the
all
phone or
kinds
something?
of shit. He's the guy who does the voiceover when it's not the actor playing number 2. Okay, he does that voiceover, and he also does a voiceover in Living in Harmony.
Oh, okay.
And he's famous.
And that's for the beginning.
He does tons of. So when you hear somebody say, when number 6 says, who are you, and he says the new number 2, the person doing that voice, if it's not the actor playing number 2 in that episode, it's Robert Rayetti.
Let me jump in here for a second so that we can let Wookiee Fever give us goodbyes and adieus.
Hey, I just want to thank everybody. I'm having some internet problems. It's flashing me about some kind of connection issue. So I really enjoy the show. I always like it. Great panel, great chats. Always great being on with you, Gil.
Thanks.
Really appreciate it, and I look forward to next time.
Well, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, shout out, Wookiee.
Awesome.
See you, Wookiee.
See you, man.
Thanks, guys. Have a
Take
good
care.
one.
Goodbye. Have a good day.
Take care.
Take care. Gentlemen, may I give you a suggestion?
Go ahead.
Isn't that what a suggestion is?
Yes.
Something
Well,
kindly given?
buy the show, find a place in North Wales, film in a miserable weather, and make Time Prophet happy.
Well, you'll notice there are several references in the series to it's going to rain for the next day or so, or it's just rained, or stuff like that. So, and it's not completely.
In one of the first 2 shows, I think it's Arrival. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. The lady on the radio says that the weather will be nice and fair for the next month. Mm-hmm. And that's why I had the theory that it involved weather control, because even now we can't tell
weather like that. Yeah.
what the weather's going to be like in a month.
And the other issue is you always have to assume that the announcer is issuing propaganda.
Of course.
She could just be telling lies just to tell lies. I mean, that's one of the things people don't get about propaganda is it's not just meant to persuade; it's also meant to humiliate. The purpose of the big lie in the Soviet
best
Union,
propaganda is the kind that you don't notice.
Was to humiliate the people by forcing them to pretend things were true that they knew weren't.
This is why I like when number 6 puts the speaker into the refrigerator.
Yeah, that's always been a funny thing.
Nice bit of rebellion there.
It's almost brainwashing, isn't it? It's almost brainwashing.
Captain says, so at Cardinal Sin, at Captain Deckard Spock, I've been enjoying your prisoner stream. I missed last week, unfortunately. Gotta catch up.
Gotta catch up, Cam, because there's more.
Definitely worth a view.
And you'll find Robert Rayetti, I've mentioned this before, all over the Bond films. He's all over the Bond films. He's the voice of Tanaka in You Only Live Twice. Mm-hmm. He is the voice of Largo in Thunderball. And he voices Blofeld in the beginning sequence of For Your Eyes Only. And he does a lot of other voices too. And he's very recognizable. Once you learn to hear his voice, you're like, oh, there's Robert Rayetti again. And you never see his face.
So the Weather Channel was lying to us all along.
Yeah, they tend to do that.
Mind you, I lived in South Wales. It probably rains more down there.
I remember when watching the Weather Channel was like the thing to do. It was like, you know, they were almost wrong all the time, but they were less wrong than CNN.
In Britain, we don't have a weather channel. It's just a little card that comes up on the screen and says it's raining again.
I've seen the Weather Channel in Britain, in the UK. I know that they have.
Only if you've got
London,
satellite.
it will
We
be foggy.
haven't got.
Foggy with a touch of fog. Tomorrow, more fog in London. Cloudy,
Yeah.
rainy,
The Weather
and
Channel,
foggy.
the Weather Channel in England would be more depressing than all the episodes of What If combined.
Fog, pollution, and slight nuclear radiation. Here's
Yep.
Bob with the weather.
And now we
Getting
just use our
stronger all the
apps on
time.
our phone to just see what the weather is. We don't even bother.
You know,
with
you
the
missed
channel.
the time when by the 900s the Weather Channel comes around and say, "Oh, the Norse are coming, the Vikings are coming." Nobody believed them until they come.
Only in Scotland, though. They only got to Scotland.
In America,
I believe
Yeah,
it
they-
goes deeper than that.
Point your head to their
Then they
farming.
drew a line, and
They get so deep in England
the
that
Normans and the Saxons lived on either side of the line, right?
yeah, no, they go so deep in England that okay, Wessex and Sussex survive, but Norsex never lived to tell the tale.
North Sex.
Norsex.
Norsex.
There is to this day there is no county of North Sex. This is true. There's a Wessex and there's a Sussex and there's an Essex, but there is no North Sex.
There's
You
no
have
more
an
sex
Essex.
either. There's no more sex either.
There's Norwich. So there's witches in the north.
Norwich.
You have Essex, Wessex, Sussex, but no Norsex.
There's a
Actually, I used to live near a place called Witchbold, and they used to have witch burnings there.
Which one? Which one was that, Time Prophet?
Witchbold.
Which bowl? Which witch?
Yeah, spelled W-Y-C-H. Witchbold.
In America, we had Salem, Massachusetts.
well in America there are a lot of
says
states
here in
that-
Austin they put a chyron at the bottom of the screen whenever it's raining like hell.
a lot of
Oh, yeah, the Salem
state-
witch trials. I thought they were about menthol cigarettes.
a lot of states in the United States also have either an Essex or a Middlesex county. For instance, there's a
Mhm.
Middlesex County
Yep.
in New Jersey.
I was born in Middlesex.
And of course, there's Exeter in New Hampshire, which is also in England.
And a majority of the states have a Springfield.
Yeah, I think almost all the
Yeah.
states have a Springfield.
That's
That's where
whole
Homer
point.
Simpson lives.
Not
In
all
fact,
states.
I wouldn't
Like,
be
I'm pretty sure there's
surprised.
not a Springfield, Arizona, but yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if there are some states that have 2 Springfields or more.
Yeah.
Yeah, many Springfields, but no Fallfield.
And then there are 2 Parises in the United States.
Oh, where's the other one that's not in
There's-
Texas?
Illinois.
Ah. I'm surprised I didn't know that. I was born in Illinois.
Mm.
No sex, please. We're British.
Actually, we've got a Springfield in Essex.
That's very funny.
Any Fallfields?
No
Yeah, well.
stripes, please. We're tiger.
Yeah.
So
I'm guessing
Tiger
it's in-
Stripe says they had a contest to determine which state the Simpsons Springfield was in.
I would have guessed Illinois.
Alaska.
I think it's
believe
Washington.
supposed to be Washington.
Yes, I heard
didn't-
it was Washington.
Yeah, and then did they get
Because-
a 7-Eleven put in there or something as part of the winning the contest? But the Simpsons
Because-
version of 7-Eleven,
It's Washington because it's the only Springfield with a nuclear plant nearby, and they have a beach.
Oh, it's a known
Yeah,
unknown,
beach
isn't it?
I don't remember them ever going to the beach, but I
It's
haven't
like
seen
the
The Simpsons in
briefcase
like
of Pulp
15 years. So
Fiction.
Yeah. I think I've watched a total of maybe 10 episodes of that show.
I
So
get up
there's
to
some-
season
it
13
came on-
before I give up completely.
It
there's
came
some
on in
really good
syndication.
episodes of The Simpsons.
It came on in
First season's
syndication in
really
my
good.
market, and I watched it for 2 weeks, 5 nights a week, and I felt like I had watched the same episode at least 4 times, and I said, I can't do this anymore.
you got to watch
cool.
the episode in the first season where they spoof Patton. It's fantastic. And then my favorite line in The Simpsons is it's the first season too, and Grandpa Simpson's getting checks. I shouldn't get political here, but he keeps getting money, and then Homer's like, "Didn't you realize you were getting, you're getting all this money he wasn't supposed to be getting?" He's like, "Yeah, but the Democrats are back in power. I figured it was normal." So,
according to Matt Groening, he said Springfield could be in a number of places, including Springfield, Oregon, and Springfield, Massachusetts.
And
yeah, I
Janet
thought it was
from
in Massachusetts.
Janet from Another Planet makes a great point. Futurama
was
Futurama
better.
absolutely was better. I've actually watched Futurama.
I wish that they'd stopped doing The Simpsons and just made Futurama all this time because it was so funny.
Futurama was much better.
And very smart and just a superior show all the way around.
I still get a laugh every time I think about. There's an episode where they go to the moon, and the moon is basically Disneyland. And and they have they have this mock auto factory, and it says, "And this factory was staffed with primitive robots, and the robots, they look like any other robot in Futurama, except they're wearing leopard skins and swinging clubs and going ooga booga ooga booga
ooga chaka ooga chaka." Yeah, that was a great show, especially their Christmas episodes where Santa Claus would come and massacre the human population.
Yes, everybody would have to hide.
That was my favorite. Oh my god, yeah.
Where no fan has gone before.
Live at the Love Shacks in the chat.
Oh, that one too. Yeah.
Yeah, with all the heads of the actors.
With the high proportion of retirees around where I live, I very much enjoy the episodes where they make fun of old people. So.
We're too heavy. We need to lose some weight.
Is correct. It's pronounced Matt Groening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Groening sounds funnier though. If you say Groening, it's a lot funnier.
Well, yeah, but he's from Vancouver actually.
If you want
It's
to
a professor every episode.
spell it graining.
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yep. Yeah, he was a cartoonist for, I believe it was the Vancouver Sun.
I did not know that. And
We should do
Tiger
a
Stripes
French-Canadian
from the
centric.
chat says, Cardinal Sin, yes, really good stuff, but before The Simpsons went woke a few years back, but we still watch the Halloween and Christmas episodes.
I like all the Apu episodes.
Oh, easily.
Now, is he gone now off the show? Apu, or what did they
I think he has, but I haven't watched it for years now.
Who?
Apu.
Yeah, no, Apu's culturally insensitive now after 20 years of doing.
Even though
Apu.
Biden made a joke about that, right? Yeah.
I mean, they're all culturally insensitive. They're all yellow.
Next they will claim that Spock is totally insensitive because he's half human.
Well, Biden also said true and dash dub into pressure. So, I mean, what do you make
What
of
is that, Irish?
No, he was speaking and he was just blathering because he doesn't really speak English anymore.
Yes,
he was
that
on the
wasn't a real
campaign trail
word.
and he said true into dash dub into pressure. That's an exact quote.
Yeah.
True into dash, dub into pressure?
Yep.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You can watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a video you can watch.
They're trying to
called How to Speak
translate it.
Bidenese. Yeah.
Do we have any idea what he was trying to say?
He was trying to say something like true international pressure.
Oh,
You
I
probably
see.
couldn't read the cue card.
It sounds like Gaelic.
He probably doesn't have full
Doon
motor
to
control of
dash,
his
doon to
mouth
pressure.
anymore. Yeah, true into dash, dub into pressure.
True into dash, dub into pressure.
It's like in Westworld when the robots start going wrong.
Well,
Ben
this
Knox
one is just a
J-Lot.
little bit sad to
So,
watch.
have any of you heard the rumor that there's going to be a remake of Forbidden Planet?
No, they can't do
no,
it. They can't
no.
do that.
Isn't that horrible?
For some reason I think I
No.
have, but
Well,
And apparently
why
they're
do they
gonna
make anything?
They're going to make 3 movies.
No.
Out of
but I
Forbidden
have
Planet.
word is the
Bet you the
word.
CW is going to do it
There's
as well.
There's my Forbidden Planet poster in the background up there, and I got a Robbie the robot. Can't see it, but
Look,
God save us from that. Yeah, they just screw it up so much.
They
Dreamcast
better
not
do
gonna
a
like
really
hearing
good
it.
job.
They won't.
You know they won't.
They'll never work in Hollywood again.
You know why they remake things? They don't remake things to do a good job. They remake things
because they're creatively
to screw them up.
bankrupt. That's why.
No, because they do a lot of money laundry. Nobody ever watched the producers.
Well, and they don't hire people. They don't hire people who can write anymore.
Formula.
The Producers is a great film. It's Gene Wilder's best film.
It's a great film, and they follow
He's
the
talking about the
formula
remake.
Since
the remake.
Yeah.
Nobody's seen the remake. Nobody's seen the remake.
Which film with Gene Wilder?
The Producers.
The Producers.
Oh,
Zero Mostel.
Yeah.
The Producers is the explanation for all movies we get from the past 20 to 30 years.
It is.
Make a bad movie and profit from the flop.
Hail Snortopus Gene Burr.
And Kennedy.
Snortopus!
It's an open
Disney
secret in
is
Hollywood that they
happy
make
and
a lot of
gay.
films just to launder money. So, for instance, there's a famously bad film called Laser Blast.
Oh, I love that film.
And
That
that's
film is brilliant.
And that's
Actually,
and
there are
that's
two
admitted.
called Laser Blast.
And that's
one has
admitted.
Brandon Lee,
Laser Blast.
and one has like stop motion
The one with the
claymation
stop
with
motion I'm
dinosaurs.
talking about. And that
Laser
was-
Blast has got Roddy McDowall in, isn't it? Roddy McDowall's in Laser Blast.
And it was it's admitted that movie was made to launder money.
It was, and it's really bad. It's so bad though. It's so funny. You know, if you watch Laser Blast, it's brilliant. You got to watch that film. but I keep on forgetting that Roddy McDowall gets killed in Laser Blast. And he played the ape in
Thank you.
Planet of the Apes.
Thank you for the spoiler.
Yes.
Well, you only had 37 years to watch the movie, so.
Roddy McDowall looks less hairy in that film as well.
You know, he dies in a lot of the
less
stuff
than
he's in.
Cornelius, you mean?
Yes, he played Cornelius, and I think he played. Was it Cheetah? No, Caesar. He played Caesar as well.
He played Caesar in one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
In Conquest.
Yeah. And there was one that he didn't appear in at all. I think it was the second one.
I think it was. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the second one where Charlton Heston said, I'll be in the movie for 20 minutes or something like that. And they said, can we put it at the end? And he said, I don't care where you put it. Just kill the character. I don't want to be in any more movies. So they saved it to the end, which was really kind of a good idea.
That ending of that movie was, not expected.
Because then James Franciscus character gets to see Taylor, and he's like, Taylor! As much as you can have a reunion on a planet where men evolved from apes.
That movie was very entertaining, especially, I didn't see it till it was on TV, right? And what was neat about it was that I had actually, at that point in my youth, had actually already been to Radio City Music Hall once. So, when it shows up in the movie, you're like, hey, that's pretty neat.
Speaking of Planet of the Apes, I will endeavor to show my Blu-ray box set.
And they did a great job making fun of the bomb worshippers in Mystery Science Theater.
The observers. That's great. So this has every single one of the original films.
We fixed our neighbor's
Blu-ray.
thermonuclear device, lawgiver.
Yeah.
And I helped.
I actually like James Franciscus.
And there's like a
in
bonus
Frankie as
features
well.
disc. This is the set to have. This is great.
That's a nice set, yeah.
Wonderful.
And actually, I just did a new video a couple days ago on Mego Tops is releasing new Mego figures every week. 2 figures they drop on Monday, and actually they've got Planet of the Apes. Beneath the Planet of the Apes, they've got the Mutant Leader and Brent are for sale.
Cool.
I think for another couple of days. So you can check out my video or.
I remember commercials. I remember commercials for the Migos of Verdon and Burke from the TV series.
So they're doing some really nice new Mego figures, and some of them are updated, and other ones they're brand new figures, but they're just for 1 week only. So they're pretty cool. So check them out.
So we're coming close to the end of our time together. Is there anything that anybody would like to plug?
There are a lot of things I would like to plug, but I can't do on this show.
If you'll put your channel URL into the private chat, I'd be happy to share it in the comments.
That sounds far too organised. I'll just type
P-Cat
something in the
says
chat.
Roddy was Caesar in Conquest and Battle for the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, so it has to
Here
be
we
beneath
go.
that he wasn't in, because. But the guy who played Frank Luger on Barney Miller was in Beneath the Planet of the Apes.
So this is Mark's channel.
Thank
Please
you.
subscribe to Mark D with a C.
Already subbed, but yeah.
Can I plug a complaint?
Highly
Because shows are always too short.
Well, they're short for a reason.
Okay, I'm not
The
as good as
long
Raquel,
ones.
but I want to try it. Snortopopus cuber.
Poopy!
Hey, Snort.
Anyway.
The best bear, the bipolar bear.
Don't eat us.
The bipolar polar bears is the best.
And please subscribe to the Time Prophet.
The prophet of time, the understander of chaos theory.
The confuser of the captain.
Back at you. Hang on, what do you mean by that? I'm perplexed already. I'm bamboozled.
I'm in Universe B.
I'm just
No,
looking
you're
forward.
in Universe B. I'm in
I'm just-
Universe D. In fact,
I'm
this is
just
the
look-
first time we've spoken directly, isn't it, Time Prophet? We've been
It
texting
is, yes.
each other. All right.
I'm just looking forward to another week of asking people at what temperature do you become gender solid?
69. Got to be 69
minus
degrees.
10.
That is the only answer.
Greetings, Big T Moore.
Visits more. I think it is intended as Big T, but we've agreed as long as I don't say bigots more, then we're all happy.
I always call him Big T.
Yeah, I think you're correct. That's what I'm saying. I know I'm wrong, but I don't care. I like my way better. You know, pedant, impudent, slackers, and rebel poet. It's what you do in Quebec, isn't it? Hello, bigots. More.
I've never been to Quebec.
Tabernacle. Yeah, right.
Well,
Jill,
we can
thank
tell
you so
because you
much.
don't say Quebec like
I'm
you're
not-
You're
supposed to.
welcome.
Yeah,
Anti-derivative Jill, put
All those numbers
Captain
on my own
Cockney
channel, but
Spock's channel
might
up.
hate
Please
derivative.
subscribe to Captain Cockney Spock.
Please do.
I'm already subscribed.
Subscribe again. Do it on someone else's. So close to 250.
Or
Up
double-
and down like a pair of
du-
horse
double
knickers.
check to make sure you're
249,
still subbed
back to
too, right?
248.
I
Oh,
am.
50.
I just
If
want
only
to-
I'd stop interrupting and talking over people,
That's
I
fine.
might have 250 subscribers already.
Oh, I hope so. You know, many people misunderstand anti-derivative as being against derivatives, but really those two things are interlinked. That they help each other solve the whole problem.
You're
Yeah.
going to have to
Some
get on
reason
the channel one day, Jill, and tell us all about it. 'Cause we've had the
Some
derivatives
reason I
right
remember
to the
that.
end, and they're very upset. Well, so half of them are happy. We put them into a complex derivative swap where
Well,
half
I remember
half of them are
Jill.
unhappy.
I remember Doomcock saying something like, "Well, if you're anti-derivative anything, that means you're welcome here, or I like you, or something like that."
I understood anti-derivative.
Oh no, he went out. I missed that part.
Yeah.
I understood
Good thing I caught it
anti-derivative. I didn't
before
understand
it
the Jill
slipped through the
part.
crack.
I'm also looking forward
wait.
to another week of
Can
dealing
you
with.
repeat that because I didn't hear it? What
I-
did Doomcock say about anti-derivatives?
He said he's not anti-derivative Jill, and neither are his derivatives. Is that right? Or did I derive the wrong thing from that?
No, it's
Oh.
if you're a fan
Awesome.
of anti-derivatives or something, you're welcome there.
Yeah.
No, he said Descartes a replicant. I couldn't help
I'm
myself.
also looking forward to another week of dealing with people who believe you're stupid is an argument, and you're evil is an argument, and especially people
And
who
they
believe
misspell it.
you're stupid and
wrong.
evil is an argument.
No, you're stupid. Brilliant. I've always got a good comeback for that. They go, Cockney, you're stupid. I'm like, yeah, aha.
Oh, and they get really triggered when you tell them that's not an argument. It's great.
And
It's great
I
fun.
might be stupid, but tomorrow I'll be sober. I'm very.
Do you know what annoys
very
me?
drunk.
Is when they say you're stupid and they spell it Y-O-U-R.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
You're stupid.
Goodbye,
Oh,
Tiger
I'm
Stripes.
first.
Got to go put dinner together, folks. Cardinal Sin, thanks for the live stream. Thanks for being here.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Take care,
Bye.
Goodbye, Tiger
Bye.
Stripes.
See you.
Night. La
Bye,
la
all.
la 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 la
La
la.
la 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 la.
Stop typing, everyone.
La la Ward.
Stop it.
There'll
now.
be no
Stop
la
that
la
note, Jack.
lying while I'm here.
La la lightning.
I've got the-
Cardinal needs to eat people. Stop bringing up topics. Stop
You
asking
can la
about
la
stuff.
la on your own channel for all I care.
it's
Stop
got the
typing.
thing. No,
I've
look,
got the
can you hear
meme of that guy
I've been
throwing
suppressed.
paper into the
everyone.
air, and he says, "They are going to their house because you're not there."
You're
PFJ,
not there.
splitters.
Is this when we read the chat? It's all in the chat.
I hereby formally apologise to Cardinal Sin. I fully withdraw my la 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 la. I'll keep that to my own channel, and I do apologise. Poor internal editor. I was very, very, very drunk.
I saw that. Antiderivative Jill, hello and have a good week, says Captain Trek.
And she
You
says,
have a good week too, Captain Trek.
And Janet from Another Planet wants to know, Yvonne, are you on Twitter? And I will go ahead and answer not just no, but hell no.
I was locked out of my Twitter account a little more than 4 years ago, and
he's
their
never
conditions,
been back.
their conditions
still
for
there.
their conditions for unlocking my account was that I dox myself to them, and I refused to do that.
In what way?
They wanted my cell phone number. I will not give it to them. I do not give out identifying information to strangers on the internet.
To send you a code?
No, I agree.
Exactly.
Like
so they
two-step
asked me. They asked
verification?
for email verification. I use email to verify. They said that's not good enough. They
Right.
asked for a phone number. I gave them a
Yeah.
landline. That's not good enough. We have to have your cell
those
phone so
guys.
we know your identity. To which my response is, "Fuck
those
you
guys.
1,000 times. No."
Yeah.
you need a
I
spare
agree.
SIM. A spare SIM just for YouTube.
Yeah,
Just stick,
yeah.
stick it in your phone.
Janet
got
from Another Planet says that she was kicked with 14,000 followers 2 years ago.
Well, yeah, I was kicked in June 4 years ago, and I was just locked out. And they said, "Well, no, until you give us a cell phone number, we can't." I'm like, "No, I'm not going to tell you who I am because you're madmen, and there are absolutely doxers out there all over Twitter who just can't wait to get their hands on somebody, especially who has the opinions I have and who isn't quiet about them."
Yeah, exactly. It's only a matter of time before the next set of hackers get into the data again.
Right.
So-
So screw that
There you
shit. And that's the reason I'm on Gab. Gab is the one and only free speech alternative. Everything else has the same ultimate terms of service as Twitter. Gab does not require me to identify myself unless I want a premium account, which I've never bothered with.
I remember I had a friend
Yeah, I just gave Twitter
that
my
was
phone
on-
number.
that was on Facebook, and they kicked him off or something, or he forgot his, I think he forgot his password, and they wanted him to hold a sign up next to like a mile marker on the highway or something really weird.
There was a thing that came out
to verify like he was who he said he was.
There was a thing that came out last year that claimed to be an alternative to Twitter, but just to sign up and get an account, you had to give them a photocopy of your driver's license. And I'm like, well, if this isn't an
Doesn't even
identity
have a
theft
license,
scam,
Lisa.
if
Not
this isn't
bloody
an identity
likely.
theft scam, I don't know what is.
That was
You
the
should take a photo of your
verified
bicycle.
account on Parler, I think.
No, that was just to have an account. I had
No,
to
I-
give them identifying
Oh, yeah?
information.
Because
And I told them to screw off.
I didn't have to do that for my account, but I thought that was for a verified account. But
If you
When
wanted
the-
to be able to send and receive DMs, you had to be verified.
Huh. Well, Twitter killed them pretty quick, huh?
It was Amazon that killed
Daddy.
them. And it's their own stupidity that killed them, really. But I wasn't going there. I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't use social media at all if I had to give away my identity. It's too frickin' dangerous.
Exactly.
But it was interesting. As soon as Parler started to get traction, they got shut down, right? I mean, they were getting some lot of hits, and
there's been the up and comers. Q Burr says to anti-derivative Jill waves a paw.
There have been multiple attempts to shut down Gab. They were offline for more than a month after they were blamed for a mass shooting that had nothing to do with them. But that's how the system works. Is you demonize people who express or allow the expression of opinions you don't agree with, which is craziness, right? Let's pretend for a moment. I'm going to use a hypothetical. There's a real example. I don't want to get into these people because they make me mad. But there are people who believe that a certain group in this world is in control of the internet. And if you criticize those people, you get kicked off the internet.
That is crazy.
And I got to tell you that every time they get kicked off the internet, their beliefs are confirmed. So it's a dumb idea to kick them off of social media because all you do, their idiotic beliefs are true.
Well, it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it is kind of, yeah. So a lot of these people exist on Gab because Gab's rules are you can't dox people, you can't Fed post, you can't post porn.
What's Fed post?
Fed posting is
porn?
Fed post. Yeah, you can't post porn on Gab. Fed posting is where you express an otherwise popular opinion and talk about why violence is the correct way to support your opinion and try to quote. It's what the FBI does is they try to recruit people to go do. I mean, if you've been following,
is that where the answer to is it okay to punch a Nazi is yes?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you followed the case in Michigan where there was this alleged plot to kidnap the governor, and you discover that more than half of the people in the plot were FBI agents or informers, that's what they do. They go around, they come up with a plot, and they try to find people dumb enough to execute on it.
That whole thing was bogus. That was totally bogus. It was a whole.
They do the same thing on all social media. They try to trawl, and as in you would for fish, they try to trawl for people who will fall for. Yeah, it's reasonable to go do this violent act because of my political views. And that's what Fed posting is when you post something that says, I believe this thing and we should get violent about it.
I see. Okay.
When a Fed poster is identified on Gab, they're deleted.
That's a good definition.
Not lawful
Thank
to
you,
do.
Ivan.
You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to do anything on Gab. Well, that's the FBI stock and trade, Jack. But you're not allowed to do anything in Gab that violates U.S. law. But otherwise,
what about British law?
No, it's a U.S. based company, so it's based in U.S. law. Right now, they're in conflict with the Federal Republic of Germany. Is probably going to ban Gab from Germany.
Oh, come on! Who is not in
because Gab will not uphold German hate speech laws.
You can just use Tor. You can get it anyway.
Laws in Germany are stupid.
Yes.
So there's lots of people on Gab, by the way. Lots of people on Gab who say things I disagree with and I think are awful and mean and nasty, and I don't want them banned.
Yeah,
that's a.
If I don't want to hear what they have to say, if I don't want to hear what they have to say, I can mute them or block them from interacting with me.
You can just not listen. Change the fucking channel.
Yeah, I have full control.
The answer is not in censorship. The answer is not in self-censorship. Yeah. The answer is just in turning the fucking channel.
Well, and the other issue is, I want to know what people I disagree with are thinking.
Yeah, it's not going to make sense. As we've said before on the channel, if you don't have a way to interface with someone with a different opinion than you, you can never change their mind through a reasonable dialogue, and 2, you can never have your opinion changed by a reasonable dialogue.
And there's lots of people, let's face it, whose minds are not going to change.
On
All right?
our channel, can you believe?
Or in other words, Germany, please do it like Time Prophet and most British people and grow up.
We had a guest on our channel. Can you believe this? They liked The Last Jedi, but it was fine, and we were able to talk about our differences without resulting to swearing or ad hominem arguments, and we got over it. And they said, well, you know, sometimes they let me out the insane asylum and write a review with crayon, and it's fine. We can do an agreement. It is their right to like The Last Jedi.
I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious to see Knives Out, just because I've heard really good things about it, and I liked Looper. One of Rian Johnson's movies before he...
I like Looper as well, actually.
Before he destroyed Star Wars.
Knives Out is good.
That reminds me. That reminds me. A week ago, I got Twitter jail because I said something about Star Trek Discovery. I don't remind you exactly what.
Well, you remembered when you posted it to your new Twitter channel. Because I
have
saw
several Twitter channels.
Okay, well, the one that I saw, you posted what?
I could not
said.
even Twitter without at least 7 Twitter channels.
I've already got one.
Well, the more Twitter channels you have, the more likely you are to be trolled.
Yeah.
And speaking of trolling, if everyone has gotten their channel plugged or their book or anything else that they want to plug, let's do so now, because we're going to wrap up at the 2-hour mark.
You might want to change that word in the future.
You're not
plug?
Yeah.
What plug?
You're not going to change your mind.
Speaking of trolling, let me mention my guests.
Which guest?
Exactly. I don't know I'm not here. This is just a horrible dream I'm having.
I just,
hang on, this is Universe A
I
or
know
B,
it's a
sorry,
dream because
Prophet.
Definitely Universe
I
B.
keep seeing,
You promised me it
seeing
would be
Mr.
Universe
Spock,
X.
but everything that comes out of his mouth sounds like Mr. Scott's.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
it does
Mr.
not.
Scott.
No, he sounds a lot more like the sergeant in Zulu than that.
I'm from the universe where there are no letters.
Quite right. You know what? I'd rather be a damn ranker like Hook.
Need to be a little bit
Everybody,
lower pitch,
please subscribe to Captain Trek.
I already am.
He has a great channel.
Shout out Captain Trek.
Too late. I already did it.
But there are some people you're never going to convince. The ones who come and tell you you're stupid and evil, there's nothing you can do with those people. They're lost.
No.
When you tell them that's not an argument, they actually get triggered. And their idea of having a conversation is to just display violent emotions. And I'm like, this isn't working. It's no help. And no matter how calm you are, they get shriller and shriller and angrier and angrier. I mean, I've even had the case of where I was talking to somebody in a voice chat, and I was being courteous and said things like "thank you," and he thought I was insulting him by saying "thank you," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
He thought you were being facetious.
Yeah, he assumed that if anybody was being courteous, it was sarcastic.
Your tone of voice.
On Twitter, if you're really nice to them, they really hate it. If
You
know
can't
when
win that one.
somebody says to you really nasty on Twitter, you just reply with some really nice things, and they just don't know what to do with it.
They just get shriller and nastier. But I mean, these people, they don't know what an argument is, and then when you read back to them what they wrote, they'll say, "I didn't say that," and "I didn't mean that," and blah blah blah. Well, then why the fuck did you type?
People have a really short memory on the internet, don't they?
Short
You
attention
don't know
span
what an
theater.
argument is. Yes, I do. See, I've just won that one.
This was happening to me Thursday in one of Nerdrotic streams, and I shouldn't be surprised, and yet there it was right in front of my face. Somebody that irrational.
I keep talking to Jogic stream because usually it's about 40,000 messages going up the screen. You can't catch up with them.
Yeah, they go by pretty quick.
Odd people in there.
Well, I ended with, "One day you will learn what an argument is, but today is not that day."
No, it
Let's
isn't.
make an
I know
argument
I
channel.
am. So are you. See, I'm right. Good day.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
No, I'm not.
No, it is.
Live with the
How
left
dare
chat. I believe you said you wanted to plug your channel.
No. Plug my butt.
I said make an argument channel.
Yeah.
No, you shouldn't.
No.
Well, that's
terrible
Captain
idea.
Cockney Spock's
Yeah, you'll
channel.
spend all your time
No, it
dealing
isn't.
with people telling you you're stupid and evil, though.
It's
not an
not
argument.
I will
exactly,
not
but
start an
it's
argument
great.
channel.
No, Jill, it's not an argument channel. It's a disagreement channel. It's not the same thing at all, Jill.
It's not an argument channel. It's a contradiction.
Yeah, that's right.
No,
Well,
it
you
isn't.
know it in the best possible way.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
not.
It's a denial, Jack.
It is.
That's denial.
An argument is
That's not an
not
argument,
just a
that's a
simple
denial.
gainsaying of the other person's point.
Anybody
Isn't
seen
denial a
the bit-
river?
Sorry, the automatic gainsaying.
And anybody seen the bit that Eric Idle did once? Did dinosaurs build Stonehenge?
No.
I knew it.
Look for it. I'm betting it's on YouTube. You can find it.
And
Stonehenge
because
was
we
ancient
knew
Skittles
what
game.
was
I can
on-
just see him now.
Did
Did dinosaurs
we thought
build
dinosaurs
Stonehenge?
were on
He's
Venus
doing
once
it straight like a documentary reader, right?
Yeah,
And
like
at
a
one point,
reporter, yeah.
At one point, they point out the stones came from whales, and he goes, "Did whales build Stonehenge?"
Oh, he's so good.
Oh, man.
That was What If had Thor destroying Stonehenge.
You know what? It's
Last
been so
episode,
long since
but,
I've
yeah.
seen Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Too silly.
I think
I-
that bit was originally done on Saturday Night Live, actually.
I bet that I would just laugh my butt off just watching. What did they do? 3 series or 4?
17.
It's never
3?
been repeated. It's never been repeated in the UK.
Yeah, that's what
It's
I
never been
heard.
repeated. It's never been repeated in the UK.
It's never been repeated.
never
And,
been
I'm going
uh,
to share a link for it.
It's never
I also
ever been
heard
repeated.
that the
Never,
Blu-rays that
How
are
did
coming
they make
out
so
are
much? How did
really
How
censored.
did they get? How did he do it without
It's
reruns?
never been repeated.
It's never been repeated.
But they showed
Never.
it. They showed it on PBS all the time in the United States.
All the time.
Yeah.
That's
It's
how
never been
the
repeated.
censorship is
Never
now
been
getting into the physical
repeated.
media too.
Let's get physical media.
There, it's in the private chat. Did dinosaurs build Stonehenge?
Yeah,
I
I
think
got
that
it.
closed-ended question, yes.
And we used to get the
Yes, they
goodies
did.
on.
The
We used to get
goodies,
pterodactyls
yes.
moved the stones. It's a question
The
of
goodies
weight
were great.
ratios. They use coconut husks in their little clawy hands.
It was a
So,
South African street sparrow.
This is the
That's-
link where you can
Wait.
watch Eric Idle asking about did whales build Stonehenge?
Stonehenge
No,
is
it's
in
not
England.
Wales, it's in England.
Okay,
Yeah, it's in
That's
England.
silly.
The
Northern
Did
England.
whales build Stonehenge?
I-
No, because
made a
Wales
quick-
is
I-
stuck on the side.
What?
I
Stuck
made
on
a
the
quick
Tyneside?
search on
That's
YouTube,
Liverpool.
and
It's
The
it's
best
Eric
I
Idle. It's
find
done for laughs.
was-
Okay.
No, it's up north. Where are you, man?
look, I take a look at the YouTube and make a quick search, and the best I could find is: did Stonehenge blue stones travel by sea from Wales?
All right.
All right, all right, all right.
All right, all right, all right.
That's what I like
I
about
even
Stonehenge.
knew
I get
That's what
older,
she said.
Don't stay the same age.
Well,
And
guys,
that's a wrap.
it's been a lot of fun. Thanks for coming. Do please join us on
That's
Wednesday
what she said.
for I Am Not a Number, where we will review A, B, and C. Thursday, I will have Don Ecker, who has been broadcasting about UFOs and the paranormal longer than Art Bell. And various
Wait a
shows.
second. Wait a
Whoa.
second, Cardinal Sin. You're saying we had Don Ecker last week. Are you saying we're having him again?
Oh, not Don Ecker. Peter Robbins. I'm sorry. Yeah, we already had Don Ecker. My poor brain. It's what happens when I get very little sleep.
I'm afraid I'm not a number is on when I have my tea.
Groucho does.
Are
about
you
one
ladies
movie.
from England? Wales.
Wales.
I beg your pardon. Are you Wales from England?
There's a bit in one of the Marx
you-
Brothers movies where Groucho was telling Margaret Dumont, "You remind me of the Prince of Wales, not the new one, but the old one." And when I say Wales, I mean Wales.
Wales with an H or Wales without an H.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and roll it up. And again, thanks to everyone on the panel, everyone in the chat. I apologize that the pop culture quiz was so short.
I actually prefer it that way.
Nice.
But congratulations again to Eliyahu.
Yeah, good
who
job.
May be back to
Eliyahu
defend
has
his
a
title.
cool science channel. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, I've been wanting to check out Curiosity Stream for $2.99 a month. It sounds like you can't go wrong. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than Disney Plus.
But not much of a ride.
Then you get some good shows, probably.
So again, thanks everyone for being here, and we will see you next time. And
Susie, you on the mic?
it's Cardinal Sin